Hi guys, so happy New Year to everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It was beautiful outside today, wasn't it? So we're going on to talking about goal setting, how much and where and what detail. Reread your goals through and through. One goal is not enough. Considerations, fears, and roadblocks. But the key here at the end is mastery is the goal. By the way, I've sold a house on New Year's Day, literally 15 minutes ago. Both parties have agreed. I always like breaking new records. Anyway, mastery is the goal. So you want to set a goal that is big enough in the process of achieving it, you become someone worth becoming. So who said that? Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn's an absolutely fantastic speaker. Of course, the ultimate benefit of overcoming these considerations, fears, and roadblocks is not the material rewards that you enjoy, but the personal development that you achieve in this process. Money, car, houses, boats, attractive spouses, power, fame can all be taken away, sometimes in the blink of an eye. But what can never be taken away is who you have become in the process of achieving your goal. To achieve a big goal, you're going to have to become a bigger person. You're going to have to develop new skills, new attitudes, new capabilities. You're also going to have to stretch yourself. And in doing so, you'll be stretched forever. You'll never be the same. But that's a good thing. Remember, being uncomfortable just means you're learning as you go. On the 20th of October 1991, a devastating fire roared through the scenic hills of Oakland, Berkeley, California, igniting one building every 11 seconds for over 10 hours, completely destroying more than 3,700 homes and apartments throughout. An author lost everything he actually owned, including an entire library full of files and research, and a nearly a complete manuscript of his book he was writing at the time as well. Though he was certainly devastated for a short period of time, he soon realised that everything he had owned was indeed lost in the fire. Who he had become inside, everything that he had learned, and all his skills and self-confidence he had developed in writing and promoting his books was all still inside him and could never be burned up in a fire. You can lose material things, but you can never lose your mastery and what you learn and who you become in the process of achieving your goals. And I really believe as a part of what we're on earth to do is become masters of many skills. Look at it this way. Christ was a spiritual healer who turned water into wine, who healed people and walked on water, and who calmed storms. He said that you and I, too, could do all these possible things and more. And we definitely have that potential. Even today in the town square of Germany stands a statue of Christ and the hands blown off during an intensive bombing of World War II. Though the townspeople could have restored the statue decades ago, they learned this all-important lesson, placing a plaque instead underneath which reads, "Christ has no hands but yours. God needs your hands to complete his tasks on earth." To become masters and to do great work, all we have to be willing to do is go through the considerations, fears, and roadblocks I spoke about previously. So when CK and Venan's children started attending school, Venan decided she wanted to do something to earn 60,000 rupees, which is $1,003 a month, roughly. Venan could have easily landed a job or stayed at home as a homemaker, but she was resolute in her desire to become self-employed. She knew she wanted to be her own boss, but she hadn't yet identified what she'd wanted to do. One of the techniques that was taught that can help you decide what you want to do in your life is to think about what irritates you and frustrates you, then see whether you can create a livelihood there. If something is bothering you, chances are it's probably bothering other people as well too. So I simply suggest that Venan follow the old age rules of business. Find a need and fill it. If it bothers you and it bothers everybody else, and you find that need and you fill it, world's your oyster. So Venan realised that she'd been long irritated by the lack of good quality affordable beauty salons where she lived. Attractive salons were found only in India's five-star hotels. They were both expensive and intimidating for most local people. At the end of the spectrum were the local beauty parlours and barbershops, with standards of hygiene that were far below par. So Venan and CK soon realised there was a need for quality, focused salons where they lived, and that they could serve both men and women. Having made the decision to start the salon, the next challenge was to find the skilled staff members. Venan was not a beautician, remember. So the next challenge was to find them. So a beautician, a hairdresser, makeup artist, and CK knew even less about the industry. They solved the first challenge by hiring a manager of the salon at the Taj that led a five-star hotel in luxury in India. Then that person hired the rest of the staff. The next challenge, usually the most critical faced by all first-generation entrepreneurs, is to find the startup money. So CK quickly approached what he calls the 3 Fs: family, friends, and fools, and was able to collect enough to open the first natural unisex salon and spa in their area. Eventually, they achieved Venan's original monthly goal of 60,000 rupees and even opened a second salon, but they decided to think even bigger as a result of this. By opening 4 more salons, Venan concluded they could turn naturals into a salon chain. One after the other, however, the bankers they went through said no. Taking the cue from the success principles, which is we're discussing just now, they were taught that no, now remember, no really just means next. They asked again and again until 54, the 54th banker was impressed and by his dedicated husband and wife team to do business together. So they said yes to their loan of $130,000. When I first started out in buy-to-let 27 years ago, I went through I would go on and say a good probably 30 to 40 people, bank managers, actually approaching them, pitching them the idea of letting a property for rent. 29 of them, or all the ones that came before the one that said yes, actually laughed and said, "We don't do that." It was almost like the computer says no. And the rest is history, remember. With the addition of the new salons, the natural-based brand was visible and growing. The success inspired by Venan and CK to franchise the business. So they advertised in 2 major newspapers expecting 500 inquiries or more. When just 334 people turned up and responded, they only filled out 32 preliminary paperwork. So Venan and CK could identify no one who was actually serious about becoming a franchisee. At that time, the beauty salons were considered taboo. And what's more, Naturals was not a big multinational brand. The solution to the challenge: find prospective franchisees who would co-invest and partner with Venan and CK on each salon and location, providing a level of confidence for franchisees who could operate their salons. 50-50 split. Who else does that, you know? Richard Branson. He franchises out the Virgin brand. He takes a 49% stake, and the franchisee takes a 51% stake. He does not own Virgin Media. He franchises it to them, the people that run it. Soon the natural chains nearly doubled to 13 locations from his winning formula of adding franchisees. By 2009, the chain had grown to 54 salons. In 2014, there were 376 natural salons across India. Venan and CK also negotiated an agreement to open up salons inside 250 Easy Day neighbourhood stores, and on the target to open 50 salons in the Gulf region, where millions of people from India live and work. What gives CK and Venan the greatest satisfaction is they've created 184 financially successful women entrepreneurs, 80% of whom started out as stay-at-home housewives. Even more important, they've created 6,400 jobs. CK said that his goal was to erase the word housewife from the dictionary and create 1,000 successful women entrepreneurs, 3,000 salons, and 50,000 jobs by December 2017. And the rest is history. And I'll see you tomorrow.